Yeah. Welcome to the Sci-Fi Diner podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Scott Herzog.
And good evening, I'm Miles P. McLaughlin.
I'm the often absent M Sieiro Garcia.
And I'm Dave Sellers.
And it's good to be back after about a month hiatus. I think we took maybe a little bit over that. Mostly my fault because I was moving location. So you can see I moved to a place where JJ is now living with me because you can see the lens flare in my window behind me if you are watching us on YouTube. And if you aren't, there's lens flare in the window behind me. So, and Dave's very happy. He's refused to visit me since I moved here because of that.
Is that why it
Very
got
good.
colder here all of a sudden?
It did.
Oh boy.
Wow. But yeah, well, it's good to be back. It's good to chat with everyone here. And Em, it's fantastic to have you back on.
Yay! I have no massive work projects. Well, they all finished up, so I can actually
just-
have
Just so
crap
you
to
know that
myself.
Em right now is in a cave, which is why you kind of hear the echo there. So
I'm
she's
in the
spelunking.
stairwell.
She's spelunking right now, so it's great.
In order not to ruin the show with the elevator sounds, I'm walking up 5 flights of stairs to get to my car.
So if we hear her panting like in about 5 minutes,
No,
we'll go
right
back.
now. I'm panting right now.
We'll go back to our health channel we were doing when we started.
Yes.
Well, if you don't hear from me and you only hear the panting, call 911.
Okay, got it. Got it. We're on it. On it.
Oh God.
Well, it's good to it's good to it's good it's good to see everyone and be chatting here with everyone if we can kind of get through this episode. Well, so Miles, why don't you take us in? Tell us a little bit about what is on our sci-fi. What's on our menu tonight? We're a diner. Oh, look, we're getting
Sure.
video of the stairs. It's fantastic. But what is on the menu tonight? Oh, good. We got some points. It's fantastic too. And
Oh.
another point.
M's waving at us.
And Chris is not even here.
It's one finger wave. It's great. One fingered wave.
Well, so we got some news where Farpoint and Shore Leave was going to be because there was a time not that long ago they and we weren't all that sure because the decision was made to demolish the Delta Marriott because it's an old, falling apart place, and both conventions have found different venues for them, and we're excited about that.
To be fair, everyone's going to miss the orange carpet. So
Oh, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
that was part of its charm. I mean,
absolutely nostalgia. Nostalgia. Yeah,
I mean, I'm going to miss the Delta Marriott. Don't get me wrong, but it was falling apart.
it wasn't
the
for
air-
those reasons. Got it.
The air conditioning was the last time I was there for shore leave. The air conditioning was having trouble working in some of the panel rooms. So
Right.
They get
But,
Well, it's now the shore leave sauna. So
that's right. It was
because that's what I want to be in. I want to be in a sauna, with a bunch of geeks. Who I'm just kidding.
And there goes
That
half
should-
our audience.
that should not be a problem this coming year though. But
Good.
this is something I'm really excited about. I can't get enough Terminator. Netflix is going to have a Terminator anime series coming out. They haven't announced it yet, but they dropped a short teaser for it.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. We found the actors' strike is finally over. So, I mean, so they'll get back to work on making the shows we love, and maybe the shows that were supposed to come out will be coming out soon. We can hope. And I had a chance to talk to Mr. Aaron Douglas at Shorely this year. We're going to be dropping our interview with him.
Fantastic. So it's going to be good. We're going to have a good show here. Good show here. Well, I think it's time to maybe catch up. Before we get into any of that, let's just catch up. It's been a while since we've talked to each other. What's been going on in our science fiction worlds? And Dave, let's start with you. What's going on in your science fiction world?
Oh boy, it's been not a whole awful lot. It's been a pretty big whirlwind around here the last several weeks as well. Lower Decks finished that up for the season. Another great
So good.
Another great season. I do love that show so very much. And then most of my free time has been spent on the PlayStation with my almost 20-year younger knucklehead friends from work, playing Call of Duty constantly. And since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 just dropped last week, end of last week, I've been stuck on that one for a good bit. Most of my other stuff's all been gaming related. I got the game Starfield that I think Bethesda put out. Really great. I mean, it's a big combination of like Fallout and Skyrim, if you like those things. A bit buggy here and there, but I haven't played it as much as I want to, just because gaming's taken another turn. But it's been a lot of fun what I have played. I just got to get it tweaked to be able to actually work a little more smoothly on my computer. It's a pretty powerful game. Yeah, that's really been a lot of it. I mean, I've rearranged here, so now you guys watching on YouTube don't have to look at the pile of junk behind me that was my wife's crafty stuff. So
Yeah, so you
it
get
looks a little nicer now.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
that's
missing lens flare.
It is.
Wah, wah.
JJ don't
You
live here.
just- That's right. Although we're seeing a little bit of shine off the head.
I was gonna say if I get a little tighter with the razor, I can get it right off my head.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
There you go.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to provide some too.
That's
Yeah, I
good.
see that. I see that. You're trying to. I have better lens field over here.
More
But-
lens flare.
That's
Yeah.
right. And Em, how about you? What's going on in your sci-fi world?
So, Lower Decks. Well, I haven't talked to you guys in forever. So I know that like Strange New Worlds was like I just wanted. It was like an endless smorgasbord of great story for me, and I recently rewatched the entire new season, which was amazing. And earlier we were talking about the musical episode, and I was listening to the soundtrack today, and I would love to get my hands on that soundtrack, but on vinyl, so that
Yeah,
I can get
I
the
initially
great cover art.
when that came out, I initially looked for it on vinyl, and it's just not out.
They have to put it on vinyl.
I know.
The cover art is beautiful. It deserves to be on an LP. And Lower Decks, I must have watched the crossover episode at least 20 times by now because of the how many plus I started watching Star Trek in high school. So of the decades of Star Trek that I have watched in my life, that is officially my favorite episode of anything Star Trek. It was
Nice.
super fun to take that to cross those barriers, to go from the 2 to the 3-dimensional to the 2-dimensional, to put those worlds together and in a way that wasn't overly contrived, that made sense, that was kind of fun and really gave us a little taste of what was to come for Lower Decks. And Lower Decks delivered like nobody's business. And that last episode made me so happy with all the voices, with Will Wheaton and with Robert Duncan. I'm going to forget his other name. Just amazing. And then I've been mainlining a lot of John Scalzi books. I started with a friend of mine said, "Oh, you need to read Starter Villain. It's his newest book." And it's amazing. It blew me out of the water. And then I got the audio version, which of course has Will Wheaton, who I love, reading it. And it's the goofiest, best story ever. And then I went down this rabbit hole of consuming, and just, my brain is so full of really great creativity. And I love John Scalzi. I can't wait to see him on the Nerd Boat when I can totally gush and make an idiot of myself in front of him. But the Kaiju Protection Society, is that right? That is of the 7 Scalzi books I've consumed in the last 6 weeks. That has been my favorite one, my absolute favorite one. I listen to it over and over again. Like if I go for a walk, there's always a scene that's really great. Um, I did re-listen over the summer the Piers Anthony series that starts with On a Pale Horse. Um, what is it called? Oh,
Yeah,
hello. Oh, there
yeah, I
you
don't
are. Oh, I
know.
thought I lost you. You guys were so still on the
We're
screen.
listening. We're listening.
I'm so
We were listening
captivated.
to.
No, I'm not. But that there's like a series of 7 books, and I hadn't listened to those since my 20s, so it was fun to re-listen to those. Um, and then I went to see the Marvels yesterday, which I went with how like I want to talk about it, but I also don't want to spoil anything. So I'm gonna try to skirt around this as much as possible without divulging any information that may or may not sway you to see it. But being an avid reader of Captain Marvel and Ms. Marvel, and I loved the Ms. Marvel show. Kamala Khan is just the coolest, just the funnest character ever. And I do realize that funnest isn't a word,
Right.
but it's just delightful. And so seeing the movie yesterday, I went to see the movie, and I set my expectations to low because very rarely has a female driven cast been written well. But with Scarlet Witch and with Ms. Marvel, the TV, with those 2 TV shows, they did a really good job. So I didn't know what to expect. I had such a good time with that film. I loved so much of it. I loved everything about Carol Danvers. I loved everything about oh my god, I'm forgetting her name. Captain I want to say Rumba, but that's not right. And Kamala and her, just that storyline. There were moments where I was like, all right, okay, this is very comic booky. I get it. And then it just kept going. I'm truly very satisfied. It's super fun. It's super cute. And I think my favorite line, which I've been repeating all day today, is please let the Flurkin eat you. I've been recite, and when you see the movie, you'll understand. It was just such a wonderful. At no time did I want to look at my watch. I just enjoyed it. It was really, really, really lovely. So that's been my sci-fi world has been mostly Star Trek, a bunch of audiobooks, and then seeing the Marvels yesterday.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Miles, how about you?
Um, I enjoyed Star Trek Lower Decks this season. It's still a little too silly for me, but I like the story arc. I like the whole what they did with bring. I mean, now it's been out for a while, so I'm going to spoil a little. We got Nick Locarno back, and I love the inside jokes. It's like, does he look like Tom Paris? No, I don't see it.
I don't see it.
But yeah, but you know, so there was. So I like that there was a story arc this time. Sometimes episodic works, but you know, this is a little more serialized, a little story going on through the whole season, and we find out why Mariner is as self-destructive as she is. You know, you know, there's a she suffered a tragedy, so that was good. I like that. Quantum Leap is back on Peacock. I'm enjoying that. Watched a Justice League animated movie, War World, on Max, and I gave in. Stars had a deal, $40 for like a year, and so
Nice.
I signed up for it. I could catch up on Outlander. I have to wait so long for it to drop on Netflix, but you know, there's 2 seasons. I haven't seen the last 2 seasons of Outlander, and I'm now almost finished with the last season, so I'm enjoying Outlander. And I'm reading a lot. There's a book series by Michael Roberts, An Alternative History of the American Revolution. There's 5 books in this series, and there's like a bonus book. I finished it up. They ended the book kind of on a cliffhanger, so I'm hoping that it continues. Hopefully, there's a 6th book in that. I recently purchased and then started reading Time Visitor, a time travel romance by I don't know if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Elsie Douglas. So that's what I'm doing right now, sci-fi wise.
Nice. What's in your sci-fi world, Scott?
Oh. Um, let's see. What's in my sci-fi world? We've been moving, and so that's been a lot of my sci-fi world. But been watching League of Legends Worlds is happening right now, and so I'm watching a lot of League of Legends, which I guess puts me a little bit into the gaming era of things. I've been watching Rebels. Is that what it is? Is that what it is that I'm watching that I told you about, Dave?
Uh, yeah,
Yes, the
you've been
one with
watching
Ezra
Rebels.
Bridger.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
yeah.
So I'm in middle season 3 with that. So just past the episode where they finally found the dark saber, which is fantastic. I didn't even realize the dark saber was in Rebels. So it was neat to kind of see that storyline come out. And so I've been watching that when I've had a little bit of downtime. I'm continuing to work my way through the Dresden Files series. I'm on book 12 and just finished a collection of short stories in that, and that's been fantastic. At the end of the last book, I almost gave up. They killed the main character, but he's back as a ghost in this next one, so it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Oh, it
That's
is. So,
amazing.
but you get like Jim Butcher just is a fantastic writer in this series. It's kind of his quintessential series, and I he kind of came. I wasn't aware. I mean, I remember the Dresden Files being a kind of a goofy TV series in the early 2000s, but and ended up not watching it then. And I was watching an interview with Patrick Rothfuss, and him and Jim Butcher, I guess, are friends, and they've been on some of his video content, so that put him on the radar. And then our principal, kind of ex-principal, he's now a middle school principal, huge geek though, and he just said, "Hey, you really should check out the Dresden Files." So I've been working my way through them ever since, and I've absolutely been loving them.
Nice.
And yeah. Oh, and I watched some Loki. I'm about 3 episodes in, and I'm woefully behind, being that the finale just came.
Oh, I did watch Loki. I
Me
want
too.
to
I
add
forgot
that
to
to
say
my
something.
list.
I forgot that was even on. I have to go back. I have to watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
hurry
the
up and
entire
watch because I want to talk about it.
Ah, spoilers don't bother me.
Yeah.
No, I in this case,
well, this
I
is
don't want to take anything away from the experience of how this story finishes.
Ah,
well.
For
So I
you.
do
So I'm
I
not,
do know that according to Tom Hiddleston, like this is it.
yeah,
He's done with Loki. So
that's true.
that's it. This is the final hurrah for Loki. So
But
interesting.
seeing that final hurrah is really cool and strange and goofy at a point, but it's so lovely. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to take away from that moment of like, oh, I get it. This is awesome from anybody.
yeah. Yeah, so I
But then
think
when
that
Superman shows up and then Batman, it's so good. It's the weirdest crossover ever.
right, it's fantastic.
It'll blow your mind, Dave.
Oh,
It
It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
and it was completely directed by J.J. Abrams.
Totally. Lots of lens flare in the finale. It was fantastic.
Oh, you
All
guys know how to
lens flare.
gaslight me better than anyone. I love it.
And then Chris Pine shows up as Thor.
It's
It's
fantastic.
Thor.
Yeah. Yeah. But the
I'm
best
sorry.
part about it is it's a musical. The finale is a musical.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. Oh,
All done in the style of K-pop. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote it, and it was a big stretch for him. It was awesome. It's up for a Tony.
Yeah, did you know that? It's fantastic.
Oh, you guys. That's why I love you.
Love you, Dave. Love you.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Ahsoka. I'm very curious what you guys thought of Ahsoka. As someone who did not watch Rebels or the other one, the other cartoon animated Star Wars.
Clone Wars?
I'm very curious. Clone Wars, yeah. I'm very curious what how you guys felt about Ahsoka.
Yeah, so
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think I liked it a lot.
Oh, oh.
It's the reason I'm watching Rebels is because of Ahsoka. I'm like, there's stuff here that was in here that I missed because I didn't watch Rebels, so I wanted to go back and watch Rebels. But thoroughly, from my end, enjoyed it. Dave, you enjoyed it too, right?
Absolutely. the highlight of this television season for me.
Yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely
can't.
was
It
great.
shows you how long I've been on the show, Dave. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not.
Oh no,
Oh, no.
that is true. That is as
Okay,
truly
good.
honest as I could ever be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every Star Wars television thing that they've come with here now has just been amazing to me. But it's nice when you have
Yay.
people who know what they're doing and
So,
know the material leading the run.
I would argue that the weakest link in the whole Star Wars things has been probably Boba Fett, because I guess only part because I had different expectations for the show. I loved the Mandalorian parts. I loved Cad Bane. I loved the Marshal. Like,
Yeah.
there were parts of it I loved, but as a whole, everyone wants Boba Fett to be a badass, and it felt like he was kind of, I don't know, had that taken away from him a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, I would say I enjoyed it. I look forward to watching it. It just wasn't like, if I were to rate all the Star Wars TV series that came out since Disney was putting them out, that would be probably lowest on my list.
You're not wrong. I would agree with
That's
that.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still better than
Boba
a lot
Fett
of other
was
sci-fi
so
out there.
Boba was so slow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it ranks the same way I would rank Star Trek Voyager in the Trek series.
Right.
It's at the bottom of my list,
Aw.
but I'll
Poor
watch it over
Voyager.
90% of anything else.
Right. The one thing it does do is it makes canon something we knew for a long time about how Boba survives the Sarlacc.
Yep.
Like, we
Yeah.
get that, and so it definitely brought something to the table, and it also brought the Vespas into the Star Wars universe. So I'm all for it. It's great, fantastic. So we're good. We're good. You know. So now Vespas are canon. So guess what I was sitting in my garage? A Vespa. No, I'm just kidding. But
Hey, that'd be great for our fuel economy to get to work now.
it would.
Yeah.
It would good. And I could get one to match my nails. That's even better. All right.
Dork. I love
I
you.
know. So let's go into our news stories. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I have some listener feedback from our last
Ooh.
show
Good.
that would be pretty cool to share. So,
Yeah,
I know
sure.
it's been a
Did they earn
while.
a prize? Did they earn a prize?
No, there was nothing with the prize on this. This was just a comment on our topic du jour of the day,
Which was what? I
which
forget.
was the movie Event Horizon,
Ooh.
Scott's favorite movie.
Ooh, yeah, the one I continue to fast forward through.
That's correct.
I haven't slept in weeks because of that movie. Thank you, Dave Sellers, for suggesting it.
Hey, it's magical. So this comes from Tom Henson. I know he's commented on a lot of things over the years that I've seen. During our discussion there, we talked about the set of the ship Event Horizon, the interior stuff, and how, you know, we talked about how it looked very, very much like a church, the way they ran all that. Well, Tom says to us, at one point you mentioned you thought parts of the ship looked like a church. That was deliberately done by the people making the movie. He watched a making of behind the scenes special that was aired on HBO before the movie's theatrical release. And they mentioned that in order to ensure the interior of the ship looked suitably Gothic, they copied a lot of architectural elements from Notre Dame Cathedral.
Ooh,
So we were pretty spot on with that. So
I didn't know that.
yeah. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom, for your feedback, and keep it coming, man. It's good stuff.
I would just say this: watching Event Horizon was far from a religious experience for me. Although I was saying, "Oh God, oh God, oh God, what's going to happen next?" It was not religious.
I felt like I need to go to confession. I'm not even Catholic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. But thanks. So, guys, keep them coming. You get the feedback here. I'll read it on the show.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Miles, what do we want to start with first here?
Let's talk about Farpoint and Shore Leave.
Yeah, so the deal is we got news, I guess it was late this summer, early this fall, that Delta hotels, where Farpoint and Shore Leave were held for years, that they were shutting down and the venue, they were tearing it down actually. So it wasn't just like you can't come to our venue anymore. It was they're shutting down. They were not going to exist anymore. What's left, two of our favorite conventions. If you followed the show for a long time, you know that these are two conventions we go to regularly, and it's been neat, kind of just to, I don't know, be a part of it. And now they were without homes, but we got some news as far as where these are going to be. Why don't we start with Farpoint? What do we know about where Farpoint's going to be this year?
So Farpoint is going to be at the DoubleTree by Hilton, DoubleTree by Hilton in Pikesville, and Em informed us earlier that that hotel is not far from the old Delta Marriott, so it won't change anything as far as you know the drive to get there. So that's good. Farpoint will be from February 9th through the 11th. And as far as shore leave is concerned,
Before you get that, just one more thing about Farpoint. One more thing about Farpoint is that we have, of course, Tawny Newsom. You were talking about Lower Decks, so she is, of course, our favorite captain's daughter in Lower Decks, and then Orville, and the guy. Well, who is it? I forget his name.
He's the engineer,
Jay Lee.
Jay Lee from Orville, and then Cal Dodd from X-Men. Assume the animated series Wolverine from that, and then Aaron McDonald, who's a science advisor to the Star Trek universe. So some neat guests that are going to be there.
yes,
Awesome.
Em, you're gonna miss Mariner if you don't make it to Farpoint this year. No pressure.
Maybe I should go for just. I can go for just a day.
There you go.
I have Nerd Cruise like 2.5, 3 weeks after that, and I don't want to miss it. So I want to be respectful of like. There's a lot of folks on there who, I have a lot of friends who are immunocompromised, and I would like to see them, and so I don't want to bring them any con crud.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
understandable.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about shore leave then.
So shore leave is actually going to be moving up closer to where we are. They're going to be in Lancaster, Pennsylvania next year from July the 26th to 28th at the Wyndham Lancaster Resort and Convention Center.
Yeah.
And I don't really have much. There's no information on guests yet. They usually don't announce guests till towards the end of the year, and sometimes not even till Farpoint. So, but I'm sure a lot of the authors that we know and love will be there. There'll be scientists, artists, and performers, and I'm sure they'll get. They had some great celebrity guests this past year. I'm sure they'll get some great ones for next year also.
They usually do.
Yeah. Well, so this hotel is the for those of you in the Lancaster area, used to be the Lancaster Host, and they just redid it, and it's absolutely gorgeous inside. It's virtually a new hotel. So if you come to this convention, you'll be in for a real treat. So.
Yep. And bring your family because Dutch Wonderland's right across the street.
Yeah, they can go to Dutch
They can go to
Wonderland.
Dutch Wonderland.
when
You can hang out with us, nerds.
What?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, as a Northern Virginian, what is Dutch Wonderland?
Dutch
Yeah.
Wonderland is the kiddie version of Hershey Park. They're both owned by Hershey. So
It's like,
it's
think of it like Great Adventure, like one of those theme parks.
yeah, except it's very young kid oriented.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
They got a water park there too, so if it must be the middle of summer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good
to
stuff.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, anyways, that's the convention update, and we're excited about that. So,
And that area of Lancaster, lots of restaurants, lots of stores. It's kind of a touristy type area. It's a pretty good location for a con.
It's awesome.
I would
Maybe-
say it's pretty. I would agree with that.
Maybe if I mask up and only go for Mariner, and then I can just lose my, just become a giant dork. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing! I'm like, that's it. That's a reenactment of what will actually happen.
Right. Definitely. And we witnessed this in M before, so it's not.
Oh,
too
yeah.
far.
Horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like there's like usually I sit and I try to keep my 5 second rule where if I meet someone that I'm a huge fan of, I count to five before I say anything. But then the moment actually happens and my brain stem detaches from the rest of my body and just does whatever it wants. And then when it comes back, it replays the what just happened, and I spend like an hour and a half regretting absolutely all of it. And then inevitably somebody goes, "Oh, aren't you cute?" Or they go, "Hi, okay, security." It's one of the two.
Yeah.
At least,
Well,
like when I did it to Rob Paulson, God bless him, he he very sweetly just said, "Can I give you a hug?" And he embraced me. This was at New York Comic Con a long time ago, and my friends were standing there. I don't even remember what happened. They had to recount it for me because my whole soul left my body.
That is funny.
Oh goodness.
I've had similar experiences. Everybody
Yeah.
should have that experience. They meet somebody they love.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Miles, I understand there's an animated series that you are enthusiastic about. You want to tell us about this?
I am. So I just found out a few days ago Netflix is going to be having a animated Terminator series. Um, there is a teaser, but the teaser doesn't really tell you much of anything. It just gives you credits. There's some pictures on the internet about what the animation looked like, but as far as much what's going on, but what we do know is it's
That's
going to
why they
take
call it a
place.
teaser.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's
I couldn't
it's
resist.
barely. I mean, I don't know. I mean, as teasers go, it's kind of underwhelming, but
Okay.
but that's okay. I mean, look, we're gonna get the Terminator anime series, so I'm excited for that, and it's gonna take place sometime after the events of Terminator 2. But yeah, so
So,
that's
do you know? Well, I'm curious if they're going to erase Terminator 3 and 4.
Oh,
Probably
that's a
not.
great. Well, they've sort of done that before.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Terminator Genesis, tried to just reboot the whole series by even erasing what happened in Terminator 1. But then they did the last Terminator movie, and kept it, well, basically just only acknowledge what happened in 2.
Mm.
So,
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm trying. I may have blocked out why I don't like 3 because I didn't like it. But I feel like there were parts of 2 that I could have done without. But I enjoyed where the story went because it really did. You got to know about Miles Dyson, right?
Yep.
And where all of that came from. So I'm kind of okay with deleting everything, even the newest one where Linda Hamilton came back.
A Dark Fate.
Yeah, that one was. I mean, it wasn't painful like Genesis. Genesis was painful. Um,
But Matt Smith, just saying.
did I see
I
Dark Fate?
that's I don't know. Like Miles, I feel like you're the you the Terminator world. Like those kind of films are ones that like you're in that you like and you want to make sure are taken care of and well respected. Like is there anything in the article that talks about like are they bringing anybody from the Terminator world or is this like all new people, all new ideas?
We don't have a whole lot of information.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just that some it hints that it'll take place sometime after the events of the second movie.
Okay. Sorry, just super curious.
Oh no, I'm curious too. There's just really, I would love a little more information. There just isn't any.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sneaky.
Yeah. Well, the other news that dropped is that we're getting a third Tron movie.
What?
Tron Ares coming out in 2025,
Huh.
where showcases Ares, Leto's computer program on a journey from the digital world into the human world.
Okay.
I have a follow-up question. Did we need a third Tron movie?
Always and we need Daft Punk doing the musical soundtrack to him again.
Is Jeff Bridges going to be in it?
So no word on that. The cast list right now is Greta Lee from she was in one of the Spider-Man movies, Jared Leto, and Evan Peters, Cameron Monaghan, Jodie Turner-Smith, and Sarah Desjardins. Probably pronouncing the name wrong. Those are the ones that the four actors right now. It's hard. It's obviously in production. So
You lost me at Jared Leto.
okay,
It would. I'm gonna need to see trailers
yeah,
to
absolutely.
disconnect because I saw that dumb vampire movie he did.
Oh, yeah.
That's 103 minutes. I am never getting back. I would rather watch. What's the guy on the motorcycle whose head is on fire?
Ghost Rider?
I
Oh,
would
yeah.
rather watch Ghost Rider 1 and
Yeah.
2 than watch another Jared Leto movie.
Did you know they're making a Gladiator 2?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Gladiator 2 is coming out too.
Oh, I learned yesterday, for those of you who are old enough, do you remember a TV show called The Fall Guy? With
Yes.
the guy who played the $6 Million Man.
Lee Majors.
Lee Majors. So that's a movie coming in March of 2024.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't know if Lee Majors is still alive, but it's
He is.
Is he?
I hope there's a cameo. Because I loved that show. I have very fond memories of sitting. I guess I was it a Saturday night or a Thursday night show?
I thought it was a weekday show.
You're right. And it was an 8 o'clock weekday show because I was allowed to watch it. But I have very fond memories of watching that with my dad. Like, because my mom didn't like it, but Dad and I would watch that.
I liked Heather Thomas in it.
She was a hottie for her time.
Just saying.
Still kind of a hottie.
Yep. Yep.
She's not my type, but she's a hottie.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. We shall see how any of these movies do. They're also coming out with another Mean Girls movie.
So
Now that's what we need.
We do. We do.
So I saw the trailer for that. Mean Girls, like 7 or 8 years after the movie came out, was someone wrote a libretto for it, and it turned into a musical that has been on Broadway. And it was previewing and running, like previews, meaning like before they were ready for Broadway. They did test runs here in Washington, and I managed to score like a $5 preview show. Let me tell you, if this was just like the draft of the show, I'm sure I haven't seen the actual Broadway version. It was amazing. So what we're getting is not a remake and not a continuation, but they've taken the musical and all the music from the stage adaptation, and they've turned it into a film.
Huh.
So it does, like, when I first saw the commercial, I was like, oh, it never needed a 2. But then when I saw what it was, like, oh no, it's the musical. Much like people who were kind of crapping on Barbie, and then I pushed them to see it, and they're like, oh yeah, I get it now. I encourage you, whichever way you want to watch it, either pay for a ticket or watch it for, on it's streaming. You'll enjoy it. If you like a good, fun, goofy musical that's really well done, like the Star Trek one that was this summer, you're going to like it. I think you're going to like it.
No, well, maybe I'll have to give it a chance. But, yeah.
Defender of the arts.
Yeah. Miles, do we have any other news before we get into our interview?
Yeah, so we got some good news about a week or two ago. The actor strike is finally over. They've been able to come to agreement. I just pulled a few things just to read from this article. Negotiations have approved a tentative agreement that will end the longest actors strike against the film and TV studios in Hollywood history. In an announcement, the union said that the 118-day strike would officially end. This, I guess, this is last Thursday. The two sides spent the last several days putting finishing touches on the deal, which will see the first ever protection for actors against AI, artificial intelligence, and a historic pay increase. The deal will see most minimums increased by 7%, 2% above the increase received by the Writers Guild of America and Directors Guild. I'll just read one more thing off this. The deal also includes a streaming participation bonus, according to an email sent to SAG-AFTRA members, as well as increases in pension and health contributions. The union said the contract is worth more than $1 billion in total. So I'm happy that these actors got. I mean, the big thing was the AI and them not making money off the streaming, not making as much money as they should have off the streaming, and it looks like they were to come to a favorable agreement for that.
It's a
good.
big deal, and it's a big win. They deserved so much more for it. I doing voice work. I am not in the guild, but I got a lot of offers to do stuff as scab work, and I turned it all down because it made sense. Like, there might be a day where I get, like, even they should just be protected in general. But the idea that someone can just take your likeness and your voice and run it through AI and create anything they want, make you say anything they want, like to have your image just like a loosey-goosey doll that they can do anything they want with, and then they own that in perpetuity, is not fair. Like, there's clearly a talent and there's a gift for what that person can do. And just assuming, to me, it seems like you're basically stealing the soul of the person and making them superfluous because you've digitized them to be a marionette for your pleasing. And I supported 1,000%. I was so happy when I heard that it was done.
Em, can I ask you? This is a related, but maybe not as related. You've seen the new Flash movie, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The whole cameo montage scene. We saw a lot of people that they're passed. They're passed away. They're gone. My understanding is the family has to give approval to use stuff like that for something like this.
As I understand it, it's the estate of the person. Whoever runs the estate of the person who has passed away has to give permission, and they're paid for. They're basically paid for their acting, even if they're like the clips. Some of the clips were actually taken from Superman with what's his name, the second original Superman. Some
George
of those
Reeves.
not George was George. Oh, that's right, George Reeves was in that one too. But
Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves. There we go. So having his likeness altered from old film like that, his estate has to give approval and sign off. So if this had not passed, it would have easily given anybody who had created that AI image of Christopher Reeve, like, well, I created and own that version of Christopher Reeve, so I can do whatever the hell I want with it. And it's just gross. Mm-hmm. It's just really gross. Like, you pay for the talent, you pay for the talent. There's a story of a woman who was at a plaza in Spain, a big, beautiful plaza. She sees Pablo Picasso. He's, much older, clearly very famous. And she asked him to doodle something for him. And so he doodles it and then tells the person that'll be, $1,000. And they said, but you just doodled it on a napkin. And he said, you're not paying for the doodle. You're paying for the 35, 40 years of artistic growth and talent that I have. And that makes complete and total sense to me. mean, if they wanted a doodle, they could make their own damn doodle.
Right.
But when you ask Pablo Picasso for a free doodle, I expect a little snark. You're just being a cheap bastard. Sorry, a cheap bonehead. You can bleem that out, right?
No, you don't need to.
Sorry, I
Hey,
rambled.
wait, I have another question. This is unrelated. Is it true that we're getting an Obi-Wan Kenobi season 2?
I have heard that as well.
So I just said, it says this news is that Kenobi set to captivate audiences next spring 2024. So that seems soon.
Hey, yes, please.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of Obi-Wan?
I just
God.
don't. I wonder if this is true. That's all I'm wondering.
I can tell if it's true depending on what's his name? Scottish McHottie Pants looks like right now. Hold on.
Ewan McGregor?
Ewan McGregor.
Google this real quick, and then we gotta get to our interview.
Okay, go to the interview and I'll give you the information afterwards.
We can do it. Season 2. All right. Go ahead and no, it's just possible. Like there's no news.
Hold on.
It's not in active development. Yeah, there's release dates and rumors. I don't know that we know about it.
If he is not shaving, because he always shaves, or he has a mustache, if he's growing a full beard out, then he's gonna. It's a thing.
I would totally be. I think it'd be stupid not to, assuming that he's in it. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, Miles. You ran into Aaron Douglas. Dave, were you a part of this interview?
I was not.
Okay, but Miles, you were. Tell us a little bit about how this interview went down. As one of our favorite Cylons, you got a chance to interview.
Yeah, so he was one of the guests at Shore Leave, along with Grace Park. Grace Park was a very popular guest. Her line, for her pictures and autograph, went way back. It was a sight to behold. I think it's the first time I ever saw that happen before. I'm hoping that Aaron Douglas may have benefited from that somehow. But yeah, I got permission to ask him if he'd be okay for possibly doing an interview this weekend if he had some time, and he was amenable to that. I want to thank my friend Judy. Judy, she was his handler assistant, and she helped coordinate and facilitate that. I actually went to a back room area. If you walk towards, well, it's kind of relative now that the Decon is set to be demolished, but
Right.
when you walk towards the back, there was just curtained area where they made a room. So he and I sat back there, and we had a nice conversation.
Very good. Very good. Well, can't wait to share it, and we're going to air it here, and then we'll come back after the show to wrap everything up. So here you go, our interview with Aaron Douglas from Shore Leave.
Sci-fi fans, we're at Shore Leave 43, and we're hanging out with Mr. Aaron Douglas, a man with an impressive IMDb resume of many genre credits, movies, and voice work. Battlestar Galactica fans know and love him for playing Chief Tyrell, the man who kept the Vipers flying on the reimagined Battlestar Galactica for 4 seasons, 2 BSG movies, and a miniseries. Mr. Douglas, welcome and thank you for taking time to talk with us on the Sci-Fi Diner podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Delighted to have you. Can you tell us the story of how you got the role of Chief Tyrell?
Auditioning for that, just like anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I auditioned originally for Apollo, didn't get that, and then they called me back for Gata, didn't get that, which is good because AJ's far better than me at that stuff. And then David Icke once said, Chief and Colonel Ty were supposed to be the same age.
Okay.
And then David Icke said, we got a lot of old guys on this show. Or Michael Reimer said that, one of the two. And David Icke said, well, what about Aaron Douglas for this Chief character? Because the Chief is not is not filled. The role's not filled, and so they went, yeah, that sounds great, and that's how I got the role.
I can't imagine anybody playing it.
Oh, thank you.
I know you rocked it. What inspiration did you draw on for giving life to Tyrell?
I don't really do that thing. I'm not that kind of actor.
Okay.
I just learn my lines and say them as simply as I possibly can. That's my method of acting. I couldn't teach a class because I have no idea what the hell I do.
Well, whatever you do, you make it work.
Thank you.
Absolutely. When it was announced who the final 5 Cylons were, and your character is one of them, what was your reaction?
At first, I didn't like it because I thought they were taking a character the fans really like, and turning him into somebody that they're going to hate. But I was wrong, and I had a long chat with Ron Moore about it, and he was absolutely right. He said, you've trusted us so far, and we've done right by you, and just keep trusting us. And I said, yeah, and he was 100% right, and I'm thrilled and honored to be one of the final 5. I think it's a very cool thing.
It made for great storytelling.
Yes. Oh, Ron's genius.
Mm-hmm. You had the opportunity to work with 2 great veteran actors, 2 of those being Edward James Olmos and Mary McDonnell. What was that experience like for you?
Mary is the greatest actor I've ever worked with, and it's not even close. She is so sweet. She's so kind. She looks through your eyes down into your soul. She's just wonderful. She's tremendous. I cannot say enough about working with Mary. She's a little bit mom, she's a little bit sister, and she's everything wonderful friend. She's just a kind and lovely person.
Fantastic. So not only are you an accomplished actor, you're also a published author. Can you please tell us a little bit about 10 Years to Death?
10 Years to Death is a comic book I wrote for Aftershock Comics. It's based on a true story from when I was 8 years old. I had an uncle that lived with us, and he worked at a prison, and he would come home after his shifts and tell my dad stories from the jail what happened. And one night he came home really late at night, and he was very, very upset. And he started telling my dad the story, and I got out of bed and I sat at the top of the stairs, unbeknownst to them, and I listened to the story, and it haunted me for 40 years. And so a few years ago, Joe Pruitt, who is the publisher over at Aftershock, said, well, let's make it a comic book, write it down. So I wrote it, and it's done quite well for them. They're happy with it. So I think it's cool. I have a 3-book series called Borealis coming out for Dark Horse. Mm-hmm. First book is in October, and then I think it's like a few weeks, so the 3 books will come out. And I'm writing that with Mark Verheiden, who ran the writer's room of Battlestar Galactica and has showrun a bunch of other shows. He's a very, very good friend of mine and an awesome writer. So, that's the current project that we're working on together.
And more importantly, how can folks get a copy of 10 Years to Death and some of this?
Go to your local comic book shop and ask for it. I know that you can order it online. And it's online for the Kindle too.
Okay, great.
Somebody told me the other day that they bought it on Kindle, and apparently if you read it on Kindle, it comes up panel by panel, not page by page, which is a really kind of a cool way to read a comic book. I would think. I haven't done it, but I'm going to try it when I get home.
Mm-hmm. You told us a little about your new published work will be coming out. Is there anything else on the horizon that we can be plugging for you?
We're on the writer's strike right now, so we're not filming anything, but I did film some things earlier this year. I did a Hallmark movie called The Wedding Cottage, which came out I think in April, which is a very, very sweet film. And I did another movie called Buying Back My Daughter, which is based on a true story, which is it's about human trafficking. It's a terrible story. And that's on Lifetime. And then I did a movie for the new network, Great American Family, with Candace Cameron Bure. Candace is awesome to work with, and that's called My Christmas Hero, and that comes out at Christmas time.
Fantastic. Mr. Douglas, it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Thanks for having me.
And we're back. So, M, verdict on the beard.
No beard.
So, no beard. Right.
So, it's a rumor. Ugh,
It's
whatever.
rumor, so, hey, I hope it is, but I hope it actually comes to fruition. But hey, whatever. Well, I believe that's about it. It's been fantastic having you on the show again.
I've
really has.
missed you guys.
Mhm.
I've missed you guys so much. I was chatting with a buddy of mine the other day, and I said, he was asking like, aren't you on a podcast? And I said, I'm more of a like and special guest at this point because I just keep like getting screwed up with either if there's something going on with the house or work, and I don't get to come on as often as I want to. And it's really a lovely blessing to get some time with you guys. Like, I just love you, and it's really fun to like, dick around with Dave about J.J. Abrams. Don't bleep that out either. It's like, I mean it exactly how I said it. Like, it's really fun to watch his forehead turn into a bunch of speed bumps. It's awesome.
That's great.
Oh, we missed you.
Fantastic.
I know that the three of you are messaging like, oh my God, can she be gone for another 3 months?
Oh, no.
I'll pull up my chat and show it to you. That is not.
She won't shut up.
Yeah.
You were missed, him.
Yeah,
Aww.
You were missed.
As the year winds down, I have a little more time on my hands to do the things I love, and you guys, spending time with you guys is definitely one of those things.
Yeah,
That's
very
cool.
good. All right. Well,
That's when you say you love me too. Sorry, never mind.
We do absolutely love you. We do absolutely, but I'm trying to wrap up a show that's already
I
going
know,
to
I'll
be an
shut up
hour and
now.
15 minutes long. So
I'm muting myself.
especially with all the health stuff we talked about. So it's great.
Yeah.
But it's been great chatting with everyone here. And Dave, we still have some prizes to give away. So if you're interested in there, email Dave Sellers. Just go to sci-fi-diner-podcast@gmail.com and say, Dave, I want loot. And he will give you loot. It's as simple as that. And also, and seriously, that's all I want you to say. Just say, Dave, I want loot. It'd be great if you want to leave a comment or an idea or something that you liked about or something, whatever sort of feedback you want to give. But honestly, that's all you have to do. And Dave will say, here, I'll send it to you.
That's right.
My time. Here we go.
That's right.
But yeah. So, Miles, why don't you take us out of the show?
No.
All right, till next
don't
time,
up here.
good night and good luck.
We'll see ya.
Do your dailies.
And go boldly to sci-fi-dinerpodcast.com and check us out on YouTube at Sci-Fi Diner Podcast and Sci-Fi Diner Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Check us out. Leave your comments. Give us your feedback. We want to hear from you.
We're on Instagram?
We are now. There's not much posted on it yet because somebody doesn't know how to run tech and be able to dual post on Facebook and Instagram because it's not working right. So when that happens, we'll get more stuff posted on there, I'm sure.
That's right.
Super fun. Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Yep, absolutely. And Dave, you forgot what site we were, right?
Sci-Fi Diner
You're gonna
Podcast.
send-
It's been a month, man. I'm all out of
I
whack.
thought you were going to send us to the Sci-Fi channel. I was like, oh.
No, I wouldn't go to that garbage. Get out of here.
No.
It's so good to see all your faces.
It's great to hear your voice, Em.
Thanks. Are you guys excited about Lancaster?
I'm loving
Oh,
that
yeah.
idea.
I mean, that's so much closer to all three of you, no? Don't you
For
all
me,
live
it'd be
there?
about the same.
Okay.
But that's okay. I mean, that's fine. And I have an aunt and uncle that live up there. What I might do is just let me crash at their house that Friday and Saturday.
Nice.
Or you can crash at my house.
That's an option too.
Has the
I mean-
homestead been sold?
It has. In fact,
Yeah.
we settled tomorrow. So
That's exciting.
so we're in our new house, as you could maybe see the windows, although you can't see too much. So
Exciting.
you can see the lens flare there. J.J. Abrams is here, just so you know, Dave.
God.
Long live J.J. Abrams.
Ugh.
You can see the lens flare on my window. Can you see it, guys?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's bright as day.
Gotta love that recessed lighting.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh wow, I'm curious. Have you guys talked about? Well, I'm sure you have, but like the musical, Star Trek, Strange
Oh,
New
so-
Worlds.
So
Oh
Space
yeah,
Rhapsody.
yeah.
I just listened to the soundtrack again today, and I don't like musical episodes of things because they're usually super contrived and forced. But this was the most amazing, well written, like it was beautifully crafted. Whoever they got to write the libretto and to write the music, it is my favorite thing to listen to now.
Nice.
It works. It doesn't have any business working, but it works. The music, it advances the story.
Yeah.
Even the Klingons doing the K-pop. It's hilarious.
Oh my God, that's the best part.
Not everybody here likes it, but I think it's funny.
Let me. Oh, I want to guess who doesn't like it. I'm gonna guess Dave doesn't like it, and I'm gonna guess that Scott tolerates it.
Send this
I
lady a
love that.
prize.
I loved that episode. I had
You
no
did?
problems. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge fan of it. I did the same thing after I watched it. I watched the episode 2 or 3 times, and then I listened to the soundtrack beyond it because I liked it.
Oh, it's so good.
The episode was great, but the Klingon K-pop, I'm sorry. If I have Klingon warriors there, that darn well better be some kind of death metal.
You
It's
don't
good.
know.
I
You don't know. You
that
don't
would
know their
it
their
does not bring honor to
proclivities.
the Empire.
Please. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh well, this shit. This is stuff. This is shit we should be talking about on the show.
I'm
Kitty
recording.
cat.
Yeah, I've been recording, so we're good.
Okay.
You know the drill.
Oh,
I'm
but
always
I
hit
said
record.
I.
You said the S word? You obviously
Yeah.
haven't been around the show for too long.
Oh,
So be
God, yeah.
prissy now. It's gone downhill.
I mean, to my detriment, I know that you always have it running. Wah wah.
Very
right.
good.
That stuff is improvisational.
Conversational.
Real fast.
Dude, I still
Hold,
cannot get over your
please.
painted freaking fingernails, Scott. I still...
I love it. That's awesome.
Did you lose a bet?
I didn't. So here's the deal. I'm recording, right?
Yes.
So this is a story, right? So I grew up in an era where, guys just didn't get their fingernails painted, right? This was not, my father never did it. And, mom never took us to the spa to do it. My mom never painted her fingernails, period.
I still think I live
So
in that
like,
era.
this is kind of fun. This is kind of, not something I did, right? So Saturday, Kiefer, Kristen, and I, we went to a spa, and it was a package for like a facial, which I like facials. It cleanses your skin and all right.
Mhm.
And then a massage, and then in this package, what we didn't realize was a manicure. Well, fine. I don't mind getting my nails done. They're terrible because especially since I've been doing a lot of work around the farm to get it cleaned up and ready to go, right? So Kiefer and I have our massages first, and then because there's limited personnel, I went and got a facial done, and Kiefer went to get a manicure. I come out of my facial, which took way longer than his manicure, and he's sitting there eating lunch, right? And I sit down like, so how was your facial? He goes, I didn't have a facial. And he holds out his hand, and they are literally glitter blue fingernails.
I love it.
Yeah, so
I love it. I love it. I love it.
so my first response is like, that is unique. That's not something that I ever did. And when I was growing up, guys just did not do that, right? So that was my response. So he knew I was like real excited about it. So we ate lunch, and then I go back to get my manicure. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go with him, right? I'm gonna do it as well, just to like see
Yay.
it, just to part of it's solidarity, and part of it is like, I'm not afraid to do this either type thing. So I got a little bit different blue, and I came out. He was in for his facials. He came out after, and he looked and fell over. He could not believe I got my fingernails painted blue. So it was totally worth it.
I love it.
And then Monday, literally, I teach 3 blocks. I have 2 blocks of like 10th grade, just general level students, and then I have a block of honors 11th and 12th grade. Well, guess which class didn't say anything about my fingernails?
The
Your
10th
honors
graders.
class.
My honors class didn't say a thing. They had to see it. My other blocks, they came in and they saw it and they were whispering to each other. And so I just addressed the elephant in the room and told them the story. But yeah. So, anyways, that's why my fingernails were painted, right? Yeah.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
it. I
it's
love it.
great.
I love it.
Yeah. Just so you know, Mr. Dave Sellers, I went down to visit Mr. Tyler Lloyd today.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sitting in his room, you know, and I tell him this story, right? He goes, "Oh, that's okay. My wife wanted to go get a manicure." He holds up his hand, his fingernails are all black. So he has fingernails too. So solidarity in numbers, Dave. You're next. You're next, buddy.
Not a
Let me
chance
tell you.
this side of Hades,
Pen,
my friend.
pen
Let me.
matter colors. Pen matter colors. Come on.
That's in my blood.
So
I don't need it on my nails.
So here's something I'm gonna say, and it's not specifically just the nail varnish,
Yeah.
but like getting a manicure, having your hands and your feet tended to, where they're cleaned up and like any hang nails, anything, just that process is an incredibly healthy thing to do for any person. It's not gender specific. It's just a great. It's just like taking care of your manscaping or your beard or your hair. It's part of who you are, and every once in a while going to a professional and getting all of that cleaned up, and getting, if you're going to go get your beard tidied up or your hair tidied up, or anything like that, it's all part of it. And I struggle with how to tell people to stop genderizing it, that it's, oh, you went to, it's definitely something people can do for themselves regardless of gender. And it's something that I appreciate when people do for themselves, because it's just that little extra. I'm going to take care of myself when I can. Not everybody can afford it. Not everybody can do it all the time. I know someone who goes every week to get her nails done, and I don't understand that. But like once every 6 weeks to 2 months, I go get my toes, get my hands done. It feels a little pretty, get my eyebrows done. There are gentlemen who come in who get the same thing, like the same kind of grooming. So I support this and love this so much that you guys did this. This is a great way to just kind of, give your body like a little respite, a little extra love, and to get a little sassy. I dig it.
So to be fair, I don't know that. I think it's the nail polish that's the issue, right, Dave? It's not so much getting a manicure that would be such an issue, like taking care of your nails.
No, not at all. Take care of
Okay.
yourself that way. Yeah. I'm very old
it's a nail
school.
polish.
Well, there's two things. I'm very old school like that. And number
That's
two,
fair.
I don't like people touching me.
That's fair. That's
I-
totally fair.
I cut my own hair. I don't even like going to the doctor for a routine exam when they're like
Oh.
checking my glands, doing any of that stuff. I restrain myself from getting angry because I do not like people touching me.
You're
My-
really going to hate the prostate exam then.
Dude,
I'm
I'm telling you,
cough.
I don't know how I'm gonna overcome that.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So-
how does this work with your wife? I just want to know, Dave.
So
Without going into too many details.
no, absolutely. I'll keep it very G-rated,
This show is taking a turn.
as it
That's
always
right. So
does
this is
every
the
time these
Sci-Fi
days.
This is the Sci-Fi Diner Health Channel.
Yeah, the health
Welcome.
channel. Yeah,
All right.
I
So,
love it. I love
like,
it.
How
Keep
we
going.
take care of our body.
my kid can come up and hug me. I have no problem with that. My wife can hug me. All those those signs of affection are fine. I have no issue with that with them. I'll shake people's hands, fist bump, hug people. I don't care about. That's okay for whatever reason. But every now and then when she wants to really push my buttons, she'll come up to me and just start tickle under my chin or something. Or just touching my face, and it's like, get your hand away from me, woman. You know I don't like this. And
Oh, bless.
my kid will do the same thing just to torment me. And they've gotten to the point where they know the limit before I get angry, but they just love to needle
I
it in
completely
there.
understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's totally 1,000% fair.
Yeah.
Yep, totally.
But nah, do what you want. I really don't care. It's one of those. You got the freedom to do it. I got the freedom to laugh at you. It's just, you know.
This is not something just so you know, like,
No, this
I'll
is
probably go get a manicure again. It's not something I'm looking at like, well,
Right.
2 weeks, my nails are chipping, got to go in.
right.
You know, it's just
Even
I
go,
think it's a hoot. I love it.
even going to the
Yeah.
chiropractor can be a strain for me.
oh, is it?
Oh,
is
it
that
can be.
pun intended?
No, but actually it works well, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
It's just strange for my chiropractor to work on me. So.
Uh,
There was something else with it. Oh, Miles, big event in your life, martial
Yes.
artist of the year.
That's so
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, for
Dude,
your,
that's awesome.
It is. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's that was a very humbling and gratifying experience. Yeah.
So we need to see the katana or whatever it was, the sword. Do you have it nearby?
Just give me 30 seconds.
Ooh.
Wax
He got
on,
this,
man.
he got yeah. Wax on, wax off.
See
Yeah,
this black smudge right here? This was the Randy Jackson from American Idol signature.
Yeah. Oh my.
That's amazing.
Yeah, no. So that was pretty awesome for him. He's been doing martial arts for years, so it was a neat thing for him. So,
That is so cool.
but if you go to his timeline, those of you that follow Miles, you can see video of that on his Facebook page.
I'm gonna have to
So,
go back and take a peeky peek.
yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of really cool. But the sword, like I think it's etched with it has his name on it or something. I forget. I didn't look at it, but yeah. I just want the sword. I don't want to work for
Yeah.
it. Just give me the sword. I don't want to
Wow. When did you
But-
become Gen Z, man?
work for it. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
look at that thing.
I know what I said. I know what I
Yeah,
said.
I know what you said too.
Oh yeah, look at that.
It's
Good job.
backwards from my
Yeah.
perspective. I don't
Oh,
know if
no,
you guys
it's right
can-
on.
It's right. It's right. And
That
it says
is so
does it say
cool.
second Dan? Is that what it
Second
is?
Dan, second degree
Dan.
black belt. When I filled out the paperwork, it asked for my rank and title. I mean, I've been called a sensei by our Li Shihan, so I guess I can call myself sensei. But
Wow.
yeah, I'm in a local Hall of Fame, which I never thought I'd ever see happening.
That's
Dude,
so
that's
cool, dude.
amazing.
So
It shows a
it's
level
Scott.
It shows a level commitment that many Gen Z people do not.
Scott, I mean, did me a big favor by taking the video of it and editing it. My induction part, me getting inducted. So I don't know if you saw that on Facebook a while back, but
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
I'm
see the
gonna go
video. I
back
have to
and
go back
look.
and look at that. Yeah.
But it's
So-
beautiful.
Saw
I mean, the
photos.
sword's beautiful. So
That's
But,
so cool.
at the time we were supposed to get rings also. They weren't available yet, but I got a ring.
Yes.
ooh,
Dude.
fantastic.
So it says old and new Warriors Hall of Fame, on the side. But and I was at a tournament. I competed in a tournament the day after. Same school that had this. Well, yeah. So I took a little hardware home.
Yes.
Awesome.
Dude, that is
Fantastic.
amazing.
That is.
So-
It's great.
So this is my midlife crisis. I put myself in harm's way.
There
and
are
survive.
there are worse ways to spend a midlife crisis.
There are stupider things I could be doing right now. So I tell myself that.
You could be getting your fingernails painted. Look at that. You could be doing that, and that would totally work.
Well, I mean, I'm letting a black belt come at me and see if he can get me, and I gotta get him before he gets me. So,
And these are people your age or younger.
Usually I'm competing against guys around my age, but sometimes I'm competing against younger guys, and that's I've had some success and some failures with that. Usually, sometimes the younger guys are faster than me. I've been trying to get in shape just so I can be a little faster. I've been going to the gym since July, doing a little cardio and mobility. Just to, I've dropped off 15 pounds since I've started
Nice.
doing it.
Nice, Miles.
But I'm not done yet, but this last tournament I competed in, I felt a little better. I felt like I could move a little better. I didn't win my fight, but I still felt better doing it though. So
Yeah, when they match you up, it's based on ability, not specifically age, right?
it depends. I mean, it depends on how many competitors you have. In my situation, there's enough people in my age group that I can compete against. Sometimes in sparring, I might be fighting guys 10, 20 years younger than me.
That's gonna whoop Junior's ass.
And
Dang.
um,
Suck it, Gen Z.
so it depends on how many competitors are there. We had a situation, since I'm a black belt, I'm also judging. I'm a corner judge in a lot of these. And we had a guy he was like 16, 17 years old, black belt. He had nobody to spar against. So the decision was made, okay, we're gonna put you in an exhibition match just so you get a sparring match in, but it just depends. Not all tournaments do things a little differently, and it depends on the availability of competitors.
That kicks
Cool.
ass, Miles.
Hey.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna hop in the elevator real quick, but if I lose you, I'll as soon as I can get a signal, I'll hop back on the call.
Sounds good.